All right, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the bottom line. On the bottom line, we say business at the speed of thought. So, if you have been tuned in to Metro TV, you would realize that we just finished the news with Bridget Otu, and now it's time for the bottom line, everything in the space of business. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let me remind you that we are coming your way live from our studios here at Rich in Accra. And tonight, we are asking a very simple question. Have you tried to register a business in the last 1 year? If you have, what were the challenges? What were the options for you? How smooth was it for you? And how serene was it for you? As an indigent in the country, and if you have tried to register a business, if you are an expatriate or you are coming from anywhere else apart from within Ghana, what was the challenges and the problems for you as well? And if you're registering as a sole proprietor or a limited liability or whatever it is, again, what were the challenges? If you're a startup, what are the things and the challenges you have gone through the registration with GRA, with SNET, with financial setup, and so on and so forth? Tonight, we have officers for formerly the Registrar General's Department. They were part of the Registrar General's Department. Now they call themselves the Office of Registrar of Companies. The Office of Registrar of Companies. So if you are mooting the idea of registering a company or you have begun the process to register a company, you must be in contact with these people. One of the key items we'll be asking them tonight is the over 513,000 companies that were in default of renewing their licenses to continue operations as businesses that were, set off or set apart to be cut off. What has happened to them? What exactly is their fate now? We are going to go into the details of that. So you want to stick and stay with us tonight? If you are thinking of setting up a business, if you are a one-man business, if you haven't registered your business, if you're a tailor, if you're a seamstress, what's the importance of registering your business and so on and so forth? Tonight, it's for you. You want to stick and stay with us? We will be right back. Right, so you all come back from the break. This is the bottom line. I've already explained to you what exactly we are discussing tonight. Tonight we are looking at formation of a company or registration of a company here in Ghana. What I do know is that whatever it is that you want to get into as an entity or a business, you need to register. I learned, I think just as of last year, that even when you want to do a pharmacy, a pharmaceutical shop, you actually need to go to the Registrar General's Department. Well, now, the Office of the Registrar of Companies, to get your company registered, for which you want to register the pharmaceutical company, if it's a retail pharmacy, get it registered before you're able to go to the Pharmacy Council and register and go through all the processes. So without the registration with the Office of the Registrar of Companies, you cannot operate a pharmaceutical setup, whether retail or, of course, if you are doing a wholesale, then you are a business entity in general. But tonight, what has been your challenges? What have been your concerns? What has been the issues? Our numbers will be on the screen pretty shortly. You cannot text, you cannot call. You can only text us and tell us what your issues have been in registration of your company, in renewal of your company, and so on and so forth. And I've seen lots of comments coming in already when we posted the flyer. Somebody is saying, in 2021, I consulted for GIZ and blah, 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 blah. I'll come to that. But for now, let me introduce to you my guests who are already seated in the studio. And I'll begin from my extreme left. From my extreme left is Theophilus Kojo, or Kujo. Kojo. So Theophilus Kojo is the principal company inspector at the Office of the Registrar of Companies. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're doing very well.
I'm doing great.
And then let me now come to the Public Relations Officer of the Office of Registrar of Companies, Nicholas Ofori Obin Chung. Nicholas, good evening, and thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great, sir.
So let me begin with you. What's about the Office of the Registrar of Companies? We all knew it was, of course, for the purposes of those of us that are learning, we all knew it was the Registrar General's department. And so if we wanted to register a sole proprietorship, for example, I'm in the media, if I wanted to register a company to do documentaries, I would go to the Registrar General's department. What happened?
Yes, thank you very much for having us. As you rightly put it, the Registrar General used to register all businesses in addition to other mandates being given to the registrar. So in the course of the years, of which it was established in 1963 after independence, over 50 years, it had been doing this, providing services as prescribed by law and in its mandate. So 2019, I believe, 2019, Parliament made it a point to pass a companies law in order to decouple the mandate, especially coming from the backdrop of the 2017 financial downturns. So Parliament made it a point to segregate the mandate of the Registrar of Companies or the mandate of Registrar General's Department into one focusing basically on businesses, whilst the Registrar General also focuses on other mandates provided, which includes marriages, industrial property, and administration of estate. So in 2019...
Marriages, industrial properties, and administration of estates.
Estates, yes.
Estates personally or for businesses or how?
Any persons, especially public and civil servants.
So that's for individuals, estates of individuals,
yes, state of
and not companies or businesses?
No.
All right.
That is the mandate of Registrar General now. And we have a Registrar General appointed by the presidency in the person of Mrs. Grace Isahak. She is now the Registrar General for the Registrar General's Department. And we now have the Office of the Registrar of Companies, as I stated earlier on, with the mandate to register and regulate businesses. In other words, register and administer rules governing all business entities in this country. And it also has the Registrar of Companies in the person of Mrs. Jemima Owari. So this is the distinction. It used to be Registrar General with a whole lot of mandates on its hand. Now it has been decoupled. The mandate has been separated. Give parts, especially relating to businesses, have been given to the Office of the Registrar of Companies, whilst the others are now being administered by the Registrar General's Department. So that is the distinction.
This is on the side. Is your office, and of course, the Office of the Registrar General, sanitized now?
Yes.
I hope you understand my question.
Yeah.
Because I had been there a couple of times, and anytime I came there were too many people. Let me say, for want of better words, that the place was almost always crowded, very unorganized. People didn't know where they were going, and the foyer was almost always crowded with people.
Yes.
Is the place organized since you decoupled, or it's still the same?
Yeah, it's still the same, but you see, we as and when we time goes on, we put in measures to, as it were, bring sanity to the system. Now we have mobiles around our premises where clients can be catered for. We have people with the tag, can you help me, where clients go if they are unable to identify or know whatever they are going to do there, they come to their aid. So we
that is since the digitalization.
Since the digitalization.
I remember the vice president coming there to. And what's I'll come to you, but let me come to you. I know you about the inspection and so on and so forth. I'll still come back to you. But what does digitization and of course the digitalization agenda of the vice president? We saw you digitize your entire system, and that's where I'm coming from with the question of the place was always a bit unruly, for want of better words. And I'm still asking whether it's sanitized. He's saying that you have items to use, you have tablets to use, you have computers to use. Has that brought any difference?
Yes, it has brought a tremendous difference currently. Previously, I think your question is due to, the large sum of activities that we used to run as Registrar General Department. But since we have been separated from the Registrar General, our focus is on the registration of businesses alone. that kind of crowd is no longer there as it used to. So with the issue of sanitization, I think
So
we are on
coming
course.
to your office today, there are not too many people as we saw previously, before the decoupling of the agency.
You would see, but it has reduced because those doing estate marriages and all are now at a different unit altogether. Unlike previous that they were all centered at the foyer.
Same building.
But why are there no processes to follow? If I want to register my company, there are things I need to do and may not necessarily have to come to your office in the first place.
There are processes.
United Arab Emirates, other countries are doing that.
Yes, if I may,
yes,
I may,
yes,
I may
you can.
come step in. Yes, as I stated earlier, as time moves on and technology is evolving, we are also evolving our processes and imbibing in the technology too. So for now, as I said, we have online registration portals where you go online to register your business, irrespective of the location in this country. We also have, even when it comes to renewal, I believe you will come there. We also have online renewal where even we've gone ahead to introduce mobile phone renewal where you just dial a short code to renew your business.
I saw the code somewhere, star 222.
Star 222 hash. You pay with Ghana.gov. You remember Ghana.gov was signed by the Vice President, and we are on the portal. Just with your phone, you can renew your business name, only business name. Talks are in progress to allow the spectrum of businesses where you can renew, for instance, partnerships. So we are in talks, but at least it has to start from somewhere.
I'll go and come back to you. I'll go to Theophilos and come back to you. Today, so let me run away from, I'm sure you are not prepared for those ones, but of course, it's still important. But let me ask you, if I want to register a business today in Ghana here, and I'm seeing some messages coming, I'll read them to you for you to give us answers. But if I want to register a business today, now that you are decoupled from the Registrar General's Department, what's the process?
Okay,
How do I go about it?
Thank you very much. To register a business, we have type of businesses. So let me take it from the sole proprietorship. That is one-man business. All you need is to have a business name coined. You need your genuine nature of business. You need your business operating premises address. You also need a Ghana card and then a TIN. You complete a prescribed form.
You need a Ghana card and you need a TIN again.
Exactly.
I thought that the Ghana card was being converted to the TIN sometime back.
That is supposed to be the ideal way, but we are not there yet. We are in a talk with the expertise to figure that out.
Yes, especially when, you see, this thing was introduced prior to the president's announcement. We had a system, a software, and talks are in place to at least when the department or the office want to go full automation. So it wouldn't be, for a point of better word, it wouldn't be economical to just buy a new software to imbibe in the Ghana cards, this thing. So what we are having now is an old software. That is why we are taking the Ghana card in addition to the TIN, because the old one requires the TIN. So when the new software is deployed, you just want...
Is it not just a matter of an update? You update your systems, you update your software.
Yes, so and you know software update is also costly. So what would be the prudent way to do?
Don't you have software developers, IT officers?
Yes, that is why I'm saying...
At the office of you should have.
Yes, that is why I'm saying...
I was going to ask you about the security of your data in the course of the discussions later on, because you amass a lot of data every single day.
Yes.
If I'm coming to register a company, I come with all sometimes my wife's name, where I live, and all of that, my bio data and everything. And if I do all of that, and you don't have the requisite skills of IT officers who should be able to update your systems for you, then we have a problem as a country.
We update our system every now and then. But what I'm saying is, you asked of the inclusion and why we are taking
of
TIN numbers.
Inclusion, yes.
And I told you that we are now in a talks we want to go full automated.
How long and how soon?
By end of year. So
But Ghana card came into being at least over 2 years.
It's a process. That is why I tell you, it's a process. You see, we don't want to rush into this because this we want to avoid where we use money, and we have to go and buy another software. At least the resources given to us by government has to be used judiciously. I believe you understand what I'm saying, and that
No,
is why
I'm finding it difficult to understand. Of course, you are explaining, but I'm really
yes. So that is why management sat down and said, okay, though we are going to deploy a new software, let's hold on with our old software with current updates, so that when the new software is deployed, we do away with the TIN number. Then we employ the Ghana card only as the national ID card, where you can use to register.
So if I'm a new registrar, like Theo was explaining, and I have a Ghana card, I still have to go in for a TIN number.
Because as I'm speaking with you now, we still have the old software, but we are deploying a new software by end of this year. Mm-hmm. And that is why we are taking because the old software, without the TIN number, the process will be halted, irrespective of the update, because it has been built. And unless we spend money to take that out and spend another money to bring a new one in, which is fully automated, this one is, it also involves human intervention anyway. But what we are trying to do now, as we are going digital, is to automate our processes where we will limit the walk-ins into our office. So you don't, for instance,
that's the point I was making earlier, that why are we not at the point where I sit in my house, I go through the process, I make the payments, and then I get my company registered?
Yes, and that is where comes the integration of a lot of stakeholders into this. And as Mr. Theo said the other time, we have embodied all these agencies and stakeholders concerned. For instance, when the new software is deployed, you don't need to walk to the AMA to acquire temporary license. Automatically, all your information is spread across the where you want to operate, GRA, and anybody concerning any stakeholder who has a say in where you operate and how you operate. So your information is sent across, and everything is automated. So you need not walk in, and that is where we are looking at that, and that is why we said, okay, let's take time, let's try and work gradually, so that we get there and do the right thing, and not spend the government resource judiciously, so that at least we can say that this, the Office of the Registrar of Company is now automated fully. We see, when you go to, recently we had a team from Tanzania. They've done same, and that is where we want to go to. They've done same, fully automated, so there's limited walk-ins into the offices. Unless the problem you are experiencing is so grave that it needs a human intervention. Other than that, anytime you walk into the office, you'll be charged an extra out of the norm of charges we slap on you.
Let me come back to you. There are too many questions coming. And so I want you to maybe explain the process of registration. There are questions which are bordering on that. I think it may answer. So you were done with the sole proprietorship.
Yes.
And then what next?
So after the
maybe limited liability company.
With the limited liability company, we have a prescribed form, which is the Form 3, that you need to complete with having information such as your own company name, your nature of business, if you so want to have it, and then your registered address. You have minimum of 2 directors. The form itself has a prescribed form, which is the statutory declaration and consent letters, which is newly introduced currently under the New Companies Act. So just the completion of it, and then the completion of a beneficial ownership form, auditor's consent letter, you submit this, you get your company registered.
So those are processes. How much does it cost? And I'll ask you the same question. To register a company in Ghana? To
register a company in Ghana, the official fee is 450 Ghana cedis.
Are you sure?
450 Ghana cedis. That is the official fee for filing.
And the unofficial fee?
We don't have any unofficial fee.
The guru
fee? I'm trying to explain something. That's why I'm saying the
right.
official fee, which is the filing fee, which is 450 Ghana cedis. And then we have a 1% of a stamp duty on the stated capital that you are going to use. For instance, you want to use 1,000 Ghana cedis as a stated capital. So you use 1% of that in addition to the 450 Ghana cedis. So officially, that is your total cost that you are going to spend to register a company. Nothing extra.
Do we have companies that have minimum stated capitals? So for a bank, I know your minimum stated capital should be around 400 million. Is that the case?
That is it. So you are going to pay 1% of that.
That's about 4 million.
Exactly. In addition to the 450 Ghana cedis.
So 4,450 Ghana cedis
Exactly.
is what you will pay if
Exactly.
you are going to register a bank in Ghana today.
You are right.
What do you use the money for?
You've made me laugh.
Yeah, you're a public institution. I'm
Exactly.
serious about it, and this will come as an IGF.
Yes.
Exactly.
So does it go to the coffers of the state, or
Yes,
where
we
does
have
it
a
go?
revenue target. Never forget, we have a revenue target at end of every
So
year.
you are a revenue generating state agency.
Yes, revenue generate. As
So you declare your
this
profits
year,
at the
we are
end of every
supposed to
year.
generate 150 million Ghana cedis. You get, and these are how do we generate if we don't take this? And you see, we are not taking out of the blue. They are all parts and parcel of the fees and charges passed by Parliament. Yes, so everything we do is based on law.
But these things happened before, and I was going to ask you eventually your collaborations with the Ghana Revenue Authority and how Ghana Revenue Authority takes its hammer and begins to hammer lots of companies, those who are struggling, even those who are struggling. And I'm sure one day when we get them here, we'll be going into those details. But let's come back to, if you charge all of these, we still have to go back to the Registrar General.
Yes, as I said, now
I mean, go back to the GRA.
yes, I can't speak for GRA. I speak for Office of the Registrar of Companies. But the collaboration between us and GRA has been very, very, very fantastic.
That's duplicity of charges.
That's I said I can't speak for GRA. I speak
But
for
you're a
the
government
office.
agency.
Yes, I speak for.
Before I go to
trying
GRA, I
avoid-
come to you, get the papers, and then I take them to GRA.
Yes.
So
You see,
there's duplicity.
GRA takes tax returns. We take annual returns. Annual returns. My brother will speak on it. They are two separate things. GRA takes in tax returns. We don't take tax returns. We don't do taxes. It is not part of our mandate, and we don't do that. But what we do is to let companies file their returns in order to be in good standing. Because we are in a business community, and you should be in good standing so that anyone who comes in the office to do a due diligence on your company will know that you are a very
So the
credible company.
513,000 people you announced last year, that companies that you announced last year that you were going to strike out, what was the exact issue? Was it because they were not filing their annual returns, or they had tax problems, or they were not renewing at all? What was the exact case?
Okay, my
So
brother
let me
will,
come to you on
Okay,
that too.
the issue was not in relation to tax. It's in relation to filing of their returns and then renewal. You know, the law mandates the registrar to take its action in terms of commencing legal processes to strike off companies that, you know, fail to file their returns, right? And then the law equally mandates the registrar of companies to equally delete business names that fail to renew their businesses. So if the law, as it is, gives the registrar of companies that mandate, it is of no fault of the registrar to take such steps. And that is the exact steps that the registrar is taking.
We are not faulting the registrar, but have you deleted those names? 513,338.
Well, currently, we
They've been
are in the
made
process,
inactive.
but we are not done yet. But they are not in good standing.
This
So
was
if
as
we
of,
are not in
as
good
of
standing.
April. You gave the ultimatum. That's the Office of the Registrar of Companies. Give the ultimatum for the 30th of April, 2023. So we have gone through May, June, July, and we are in August. 4 months, and you haven't
yes.
taken any
So
action.
what we've done is
The action that
sorry,
we
you
have
can go
taken
on.
is to put them in not good standing. They are
But they will
not
still be operating. If I'm operating a business and I'm not renewing, and I'm getting businesses from...
any serious-minded business person contracting business with you will definitely try to do some due diligence to know as to whether you are active or not.
I don't think that they do. I don't think that
they do a
companies
lot. We write a
come
lot
to
of
you-
searches on that. They do a lot.
So if I may come in,
Yes, sure.
the first batch of company we announced to the public to strike off, actually we put them all in a state of inactivity. What we mean by state of inactivity is that when there is a due diligence being done on your company, they don't see it and register. This state of inactivity we put companies in are there to await the legal processes in order to strike them off. So, for instance, as you said, 520, that is those companies we've listed for strike off. But then we cannot go ahead and strike off just like that because we've put them in. Then we
no,
have
but
to,
you gave the deadline. The deadline has
yes,
elapsed.
so
what we are expecting is that you take them off.
Yes,
because
but
if I am a company, say Metro TV Company Limited, I go to the National Health Insurance that I supply them papers for printing of their invoices and whatsoever. And I've been doing this for the last 10 or 15 years. I mean, for credibility's sake, they will have that credibility in me. I have registered with the Public Procurement Authority. I have all the GRA, the Senate certificates and all that. And I keep supplying, but I don't come back to you.
Yes.
How does NHI know if you don't take me off?
They will know because they will do due diligence on your company. See, the other time I was in the office when I had a call, actually a call and an email from Latvia of Ghanaian companies going out there to seek loan facilities. And these people made due diligence on about 15 of these companies. Just recently, we also had one from Bulgaria. So, as you said, rightly said, yes, we put them out there. But we cannot just strike off because we put them out there. It has to follow due processes. And that is why I'm saying the first step is to put them in a state of inactivity. Meaning that if, let's say, my brother Theophilus has a company and I want to know how Mr. Theophilus' company is faring or is he in good standing, when I enter his business name in the system, it doesn't pop up. Nothing shows.
So you have a system like that?
Yes. Nothing
that I can sit in my office, maybe as a government procurement officer or maybe auditor or maybe whatever the originating department is.
Not every institution, sir.
Why is it not so? When you go to, that's what my problem is. When you go to the Public Procurement Authority, they say they are digitizing. And so they have the name has just escaped me, but they have a system where they are forcing they call it the procurement entity, to enlist. And so you cannot procure, I'm sure they have done that with you. They have trained your procurement officers. When you go to their website today, you can find out all the procurement activities of the Office of the Registrar of Companies. And so if I want to supply you with toiletries, I'm able to go there and see. And so when there's a problem with you, the supplier, when I go on the website of PPA, I would find out. I'm saying that you are the Registrar General, Office of the Registrar of Companies. People's investments are at risk. Should we not have gotten there by now that when I sit in my office and I want to register a company or there's a company coming to have a business dealing with me, I can verify from my office the veracity of the company?
Yes, you can. Why not? You can. But you need to register with us. We cannot give a wholesale access to our website. You need to see. As I'm speaking with you now, every competent authority in this country have access to our system.
So it happens.
It is there now.
That is what I wanted.
Yes, it is there now. But if you're an individual or any entity, you need to write to the registrar to gain access. We cannot just at a go open the floodgate for anyone to have access into our system.
You are the inspector. Do you do regular inspections? Do you visit companies? Do you go around? We know the very small ones that you'll go, you see their registration documents posted on their walls and so on and so forth. You do intermittent inspections.
And we do
you
that.
Check the credibility of companies, the veracity.
We check and then we...
How often do you do that?
Well, every year we go twice, but we are trying to go more than twice.
To every company?
Exactly.
Have you been to Metro TV here?
Personally, no, but I think my colleagues have been here.
Your team? Yes. What's the number of your team?
Well,
we move in 10, group of 10.
In groups of 10?
Unfortunately,
but you go around the entire country?
And no. We segment let's say if it is Greater Accra, we segment it. Then we sometimes a team of 10 in a group of 5.
Are you understaffed?
Not really.
Will you not request for more staffing from government?
Not really.
To be able to inspect? And I'll come back to you, but I want you to talk about this one. I'm sure there are a number of companies operating with even forged certificates and so on and so forth. So if you do that, you don't think government should give you an office in every district to be able to monitor every company that's operating?
Well, I think it will be a right course in a right direction because
Currently, you don't have that.
we don't have that, but we have regional offices. That is what we have in place now.
Let me run to the questions. I have lots of questions for you, though. I'm sure we would have to reschedule another one, but for the purposes of time, let me run to the concerns and questions that are coming up. And I would read maybe 5 of them and come back to you, and then we'll go back to the question. Someone says, in 2021, I consulted for GIZ on the business registration regime in Ghana. ORC is just one part of business registration and the entry point of registering of businesses, but more and other 10 other certificates are needed depending on the sector. I think that's true. I had cited the example of the Pharmacy Council, that you need to go to the office of the Registrar of Companies, but after that, of course, you need to come back to the Pharmacy Council to go through the entire process of your registration before you are allowed to operate. I think that is the operating permits, if that is so. Nicholas, okay, right. Somebody sent me your names. The Registrar General is a company and the reception. This organized company and the receptionists are very rude and unhelpful. Kweku in La Paz thinks so. Maybe you may want to take this as a concern. You're a public sector institution, and specifically to you as a customer service relations person. If that is so, this is experience of someone. How long does it take to register a company? How much does it take to register a company? Limited liability. They have answered that already. I went to register my company this year, and I met a lady who was vetting my documents and didn't know anything about shares and beneficial ownership. She wasted my time for 3 days back and forth until I got annoyed and argued with her, and the data entry officer came in to intervene and told the lady my form is complete. Were you speaking to the right person? Benjamin from Pando sent in that one. Do you have a desk that directs people to the appropriate office if they come in?
Yes, really. You see, when you enter into our office, we have designated people. You first have to report to the receptionist,
Okay.
who directs you to an appropriate company inspector. There are a lot of people. It's a public institution. People do come there. So if you don't contact the staff or the right people and you solicit information from any person who you might think is there and therefore assumes is a staff, then I believe you will be finding yourself in a wrong side of situation. So
how can a foreigner register? I'm sorry.
Oh, don't worry.
I think I got the import of your explanation, and I support that 100%. That if you want to go into any institution at all, first get the direction from the reception, and then you can make your concerns known to everyone. How can a foreigner register? I went there several times, and they said a foreigner cannot register. ID in Achimota sent in that one. I'll continue reading so that you can get the opportunity to answer the rest. Please ask for me if I have all the necessary documents required. Can I register a business sole proprietorship without necessarily coming to their office? Chris Ba from Nsawam sent that one. I'm watching your discussion live. I'm Celebrity Painter from Ashale Buchi. You didn't mention your name, Celebrity Painter. Hi, good evening. I'm Gideon from Community 4. I'm sorry, but seems... okay, I'm not getting this. Chris Ba from Nsawam says, please ask for us. Have all the necessary documents required? Can I register a business... Okay, I've read your question already. Hello, good evening. Please, I want a license to operate retail drug store. The guys in front, okay, the same person texting, so I'll jump that. Good evening. The company's registry have great intentions on digitalization, but the workers in the front office are not helping. So this is the second time we're getting this. The way the digitalization will work is to remove all the old hands who are formed in guru business and take on new national service persons with a few weeks training to handle the front office and the digitization agenda of the registrar. Jonas Ayi Lashibi sent in that one. Hello, good evening. Please, I want license to operate. Well, I've read this again. Delhi Domipu Uba. Yomu in Sisala West District, Upper West Region. Wow. So let me come to you, then I'll come to you. Or let me begin with you, then I'll come to you.
Okay, to take your first concern
Yes.
about as to whether or not a foreigner can register. The answer is yes.
He said he
And
came
no.
there several times. And
Yes and no. Yes, with the reason that if you want to register a company limited by guarantee, a company limited by shares, an external company, those are companies that foreigners can participate in. But when it comes to partnership, sole proprietorship, the law is that it is reserved for Ghanaians. So possibly this person walked in with the intention of registering a sole proprietorship or a partnership, and then he or she was told that you cannot. And I think it wasn't a wrong response.
yeah, so if you're watching us, it depends on the type of company you're trying to, entity business, right?
Exactly,
That you are
exactly.
trying to register. And so if you want to get into, I know, for example, with the Ministry of Trade and the Ghana Revenue Authority, if you want to get into the retail business, you will not be allowed to get into that. And all that.
Exactly.
So let me come to you if you have answers for any of the questions or concerns that have come up.
Yes, I would like to urge our cherished clients that they should exercise patience. You see, we are a human institution, human self. Sometimes, yes,
Fire is coming, eh?
yes. Sometimes certain behaviors does not work out well. But however, we are trying our best to serve them. As our tagline says, we're here to serve. So we will do our best. And if they find any fault, they shouldn't hesitate to point it out to us so that we improve on ourselves and our services we render them to. And with the question of time duration for registration, yes, indeed. For business names, which we refer to as the sole proprietorship, at least maximum 3 days, you should have your certificate in
In
hand.
2 days.
Maximum 2 days.
Is that what it is now?
Yes, that is what it is.
But you see,
in 2 days, you should have it done.
you should have it done.
With
In
the
actual
lawyer
sense,
signing
in
and
actual sense,
everything.
we are no longer doing those kind of registration processes. Nothing like a lawyer needs to sign on
But previously a lawyer had to
previously,
sign.
but
Previously,
currently
yeah.
we don't do that.
Okay.
So, those days has been shortened. So, in a day you can get it done. In 2 days you can get it.
In 2 days, if you begin your registration, you should get it done.
Yes.
You should get it done. Even in the same day, you should get it done. Sole proprietorship with the limited liability companies, 3 days to 4 days, we should be done.
Wow.
Yes.
This
But you
this
know-
will be an improvement. And you haven't spoken about it.
It is. I mean, we are
You see-
improved. It's just that, sometimes our clients,
Want
they
to cut
don't walk
corners.
to the right.
Yes,
They don't
want
work to
to
the
cut
right
corners.
officers, right? You see, they like working with the outsiders more. So when you have issues,
Intermediaries.
don't, generalize the whole issue and then push it onto us.
So why do you allow intermediaries to be working with you? I mean,
It's a public office and you cannot take them out.
why can't you take them out?
Why do you want to take them out? This is registrar of companies. It's for
Yes.
Ghanaians. They are
Guru
Ghanaians.
boys. So you're allowing the
No,
Guru
no,
boys.
we don't
I mean,
allow Guru boys
yes.
per se. They
Uh-huh.
are Ghanaians
But you should be
trying to
able
do
to
their
take
own
them out.
businesses. We are
Yeah.
not
They are
encouraging
promoters.
them around. What we are saying is, if they come, they want to do their submissions.
You know,
it's
it
allowed.
is-
And they are limited. They are restricted.
But it is overly risky to accept that there are people who are termed intermediaries who may not necessarily be licensed by you to be doing what they are doing.
It's left
but
to
you
the
are
public to
allowing
accept
them
that.
to because you are a public
We
institution.
we don't recognize them as intermediaries.
But you know they exist.
Yes.
Well, they exist. We cannot say they don't. They do exist.
And
but
you are not finding ways to take them off. So
No, let me-
I'm suggesting to you, for example, that if I'm coming to register and you are requesting for my TIN number and my Ghana card, and you are not seeing me in person, apart from maybe applying online, and I'm coming to you and I am not coming in person or giving whoever is coming a letter of an authority note, you may not want to attend to the person.
Yes.
And you may by that be able to cut those people out.
Yes.
For me, it is risky. People do people in your name all the time, and we hear it, we put it on the news here,
Exactly,
and all
exactly.
of that. So it is risky to accept that.
Exactly, my
they are
brother.
Ghanaians.
Exactly. We are encouraging and we keep on encouraging our clients to do things themselves. However, as
Some clients are stubborn.
Exactly. They don't. They ask. They don't have the time. So when they come, staffs, we are equally busy working for the public. So usually, they prefer going to them, and then when they have issues, they kind
run
of
to us.
I have seen
throw
somebody
those issues
who,
on us.
even for the Ghana card that you need to go and sit and take a picture, the person said, I don't have time, and wanted to just go take the picture and leave. So the entire process, he wanted it to be done.
So we equally
for
need to
him by
work on
someone.
ourselves as individuals.
And our attitudes.
Because let me also put in this and add to what my brother said. Using third parties are very risky. In as much as you trust the people or the person who is standing in for you, you need also to be very careful, because I have a saying that everything we do at Office of the Registrar of Companies is a legal document. You wouldn't want your document in the hands of a third party knowing nothing about what is entailed in that document. And you wouldn't want to complete your registration and leave the document in the hands of third party who can forge your signature and do changes under the authority of your signature without recourse to your knowledge. So it's very risky. That is why we are asking our clients and the public that whenever you want to transact with the ORC, please come in person. Or better still, if you cannot, find someone who you can trust. Because look, there are some people who put their trust in third parties, and at the end of the day, they suffered for it. The consequences was great. Do you know that someone even removed a shareholder's name from that is a son to the father who contracted this third party to do that, a trusted friend, anybody. Remove the name of his son as a shareholder and place his name.
So you should have a way of taking them off, and that's my problem.
And it was done legally under the authority and signature of the father.
Did he have an authority note?
Yes.
If that happened, then nobody is at fault. I mean,
that is why we are encouraging the public to do the transaction themselves. Because my brother sitting here has seen a lot of cases.
Let me read the last batch. Unfortunately, my time is actually up. So let me read the last batch and take your very final comments. I got the inspector of companies, and I was called by the officer on duty who doesn't know anything. Please don't rubbish my experience. This is the person who had texted that he went back and forth and the person wasn't the right person that was dealing with. So that seat was the right place because I was called from the queue. In case I do the online registration, how do I get my company certificate, hard copy, success, or being from Koforidua? And my wife is a foreigner, but they refuse to register her or jointly with me, Kwekula Pass again. Chris Barr again says, please ask for us if I have all the necessary documents required. Can I register a business sole proprietorship without necessarily coming to the office and the cost involved? I'm disappointed in your people. You can... Okay, this should be of this should be a no for the public office. I mean, he's referring to the Guru boys. This mentality is working against government's agenda. June Asai, licensed, I'm reading this because he's a licensed insolvency practitioner. Do we have anything like that?
Yes.
Licensed insolvency practitioner.
Yes.
How can I get the license? Because I already have registered general certificate. So let's attend to this maybe from you and then we'll end with you.
Okay. So for the licensed practitioners, I believe you have to take a course with GARIA, Ghana Association of Restructuring and Insolvency Practitioners. So after that, then you are registered under the Office of the Registrar of Company as an insolvency practitioner, of which you will be given a certificate by GARIA and that of the ORC. With respect to the online business registration too, it's the same process. Once you register, you can get hard copies of your certificate and profiles within the same time period. And with respect to our inspectors, well noted, we will take care of it and probably improve on our current situation. Thank you.
You let me pick your last comments and then we'll run out.
Well, with the last comment you passed, that somebody had an experience that you shouldn't rubbish it, that an inspector couldn't serve him well because of his knowledge on the work. I am wondering whether it's a genuine concern because the inspectors that we have are well trained and we don't hesitate to even consult the seniors if we have issues. So possibly they may have their own issues or their differences, but I don't think it's about competency. But next time when you experience something as such, you should try and then see somebody higher than that person.
Super. Forgive me, 30 seconds. You have a customer service line. Is there any way people can reach you, your website and so on? And
yes,
so
for our websites, we have platforms on all our websites at ORC Ghana, and our client service and client
That's on all
helpline,
social media platforms.
all social media
So
platforms.
if I go to Twitter now, ORC Ghana.
At ORC Ghana, you will find us.
Do you put up this there?
Yes, always. And our client service number is 055-765-3130. 055-765-3130. This is for WhatsApp and Telegram. And our landline is 0302-666-081. 0302-666-081.
So 055-765-3130,
Yes.
0302-666-081. Office of the Registrar of Companies. If you want to reach out to them any day, anytime, they are here to serve you for your registration of companies. We'll try as much as possible to bring them back. Too many questions coming up. Unfortunately, our time is up, and I'm not able to pick up any more questions. But Theophilus Kojo is a principal company inspector. He had been with us, explaining to us some of the processes, and the public relations officer of the Office of the Registrar of Companies is Nicholas Ofori Obin Chum. My name is Kwesi Efri. Let me quickly announce to you that coming Monday, the 14th day of this very month, August, in the Ashanti region at the Prempeh Assembly Hall, the Youth Employment Agency will be launching its garment and textiles module. And if you're a tailor or a seamstress or a fashion designer, you are humbly invited. We'll explain that in the course of the week and probably get the officials here to speak about it. This is Metro TV. Coming up is Bridget Otu again with Honorable Muntaka Mohammed. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's an exciting interview. You want to still keep your dial here and stay with us. Good evening.